On the news, NLC President Joe Ajaero rejects police invitation, demand details of allegations. Federal government inaugurates 10-member committee to enforce Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. And CBN reports high remittance inflows of $553 million for July 2024. Thank you for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atiko. President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero, has declined the invitation by the police for questioning over alleged criminal conspiracy and treasonable felony. The Nigeria Police Force invitation was contained in a letter dated August 19, 2024 and signed by ACP Adamu Muazu on behalf of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team. The summons had ordered the NLC president to present himself for questioning by 10 a.m. on Tuesday. The police also warned that a warrant of arrest will be issued if Ajaero failed to comply. However, in a letter by his counsel, Femi Falana, Ajaero has asked the police to provide details of the allegations leveled against him. In further response, the leadership of the NLC has accused the federal government of harassing its leaders and has put its members and affiliates on red alert, threatening a nationwide strike should the Nigeria Police Force detain its president.
Part of the resolutions is that as a committed labor center, that we agreed or that we abide by the rule of law and due process. We will honor the invitation of the Nigerian police because we are not faceless organization, but we believe that we need an extension of time after consultation with our lawyers, because this invitation was extended to the Congress President yesterday and asked to report at the police by 10 a.m. today. So we are already working with our lawyers to look for extension of time. But this does not legitimize the charges by the Nigerian police to the Congress leadership. And secondly, we resolve that in an event our Congress president was arrested or detained at any moment, we put our appellate on red alert to mobilize our membership across the country, that all workers in this country should down-tool their services. This is the resolution because, comrades, this organization belongs to all of us. Therefore, we should do everything possible to safeguard the sanctity of this organization. We therefore thank you very much, and you should be calm and wait for further directives by our leadership. Whatever happens, we will communicate to your leadership, and your leadership will communicate to you. So we urge you to remain calm and go back peacefully to your working place and await further directives.
Well, let's discuss this further with legal expert Evans Ufeli. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Now, is it appropriate for the NLC President Joe Ajaero to reject invitation by the police asking for details of the invitation or allegations before appearing?
He has not rejected the invitation. He's asking for time and he's asking for details. Okay? He has not said he's not going to honor the invitation. Of course, the police served the invitation just 24 hours ago. And I've asked him to report immediately. And he said he wants to consult with his lawyer. And also he will need to know the details of the investigation of the invite. Okay? There is no offense whatsoever committed. I want to know the details. I'm speaking to my lawyers. I need time. Does not amount to resisting arrest. Does not amount to rejecting an invitation served on him. Okay? There's no way in this conversation he has said he's not going to honor the invitation. And there's no way in this conversation that he has discarded the invitation extended to him that will warrant the police to take any further action. But that he has asked for time, and he had also said he was consulting with his lawyer. Even in court, If you look at Section 35 of the 1999 Constitution, it says the defendant must be given adequate time and facility to prepare for his defense. I know he has not been charged to court yet. I know it's just an invitation to come to the police station to answer questions. But in the spirit and letters of the law and the human rights, adequate time and facility to do so is not too much to ask for. And it's not yet a legal infraction by our laws.
Right, so the police has now said it would get a warrant to arrest Ajaero if he refuses to appear for questioning. Now, wouldn't that make matters even worse?
No, it is the right of police. If you are invited and you fail to honor the invitation. He hasn't failed to honor the invitation yet. At this time, we cannot judge him so. But assuming but not conceding that he eventually refused to appear before the police have an alternative means to get him, and that is to, get a warrant, an arrest warrant, for which they can go and bring him from wherever he is. You understand? The police know, they know what to do. The issue on that reference is an allegation. Terrorism financing and the rest of that. It's an allegation. This allegation, the police have to prove them beyond reasonable doubt. Okay? And whoever is prosecuting must prove that beyond reasonable doubt. So we've not gotten to the stage. He has not been arrested. He's only been invited. So the police can as well wait. He's a Nigerian. His rights are protected under the Constitution. He didn't say he will not turn up. It is only when he fails to turn up that the police can now go after him, procure a warrant of arrest, and then get him arrested and charge him accordingly. But the police must also be prepared to substantiate those charges with evidence. That's the only way they can stop. But the NSC, they are saying that if the police apply force, they will be on a red alert, and they will make sure that they go on strike to air their grievances against their union leader.
All right, hopefully he appears in record time. Legal expert Evans Ifrili, thank you very much for sharing your insights. Moving on, as part of efforts in driving professional development and streamlining processes, the National Assembly has launched a 4-day capacity building program designed to enhance the skills and effectiveness of its staff, recognizing their vital contribution to Nigeria's legislative process. The clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Tambuwal, who spoke at the event in Abuja, says the training, a collaboration with Zaramat Global Company Limited, will help to foster reorientation of participants for improved productivity and effective service delivery of staff. TV360's Folashade Olusegun reports from Abuja.
This year's capacity building program aims to equip participants with the necessary skills and knowledge to better support the legislative functions of National Assembly. In his keynote address, the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Tambuwal, underscored the critical role of staff in maintaining the Assembly's smooth operations. He highlighted the Assembly's significance as cornerstone of Nigeria's evolving democracy and emphasized how essential the staff's efforts are to its continued success.
You may recall that upon our assumption of office, the management of the National Assembly identified human capacity building as a core priority areas of focus in our effort to develop, strengthen, and reposition the National Assembly to carry out its statutory function. To accomplish this goal, we began in 2023 training series, which resulted in successful training of over 3,000 staff in various grade levels.
Representing the Executive Chairman of National Assembly Service Commission, the Commissioner for Southwest Zone, Akim Akamo, reaffirmed its commitment to staff development, advocating for continuous training, professional growth, process improvements, and fostering a culture of innovation.
Together, we have the privilege and responsibility of supporting the vital work of the elected representatives in the National Assembly. In these times of change and challenges, it is more important than ever before that we redouble our efforts to deliver the highest standard of service and support to the members of the National Assembly.
According to the training organizers, the program is in line with the vision of leadership of the 10th National Assembly to strengthen a professional workforce at all levels of National Assembly administration. Folashade Olusegun, reporting for TV360, Abuja.
Following the ruling by the Supreme Court granting financial autonomy to local governments in Nigeria, the Nigerian government has inaugurated a 10-member ministerial committee to implement the verdict. Disclosing this in a statement on Tuesday, the Director of Information and Public Relations in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Segun Imoyosen, revealed the SGF George Akume would chair the committee, whose primary goal is to ensure that local governments are granted full autonomy, allowing them to function effectively without interference from state government. On July 11, the Apex Court declared that it is unconstitutional for state governors to hold on to funds meant for local government administrations. According to the statement, the move is in line with President Bola Tinubu's efforts to give appropriate implementation to the provisions of the Constitution, which recognizes local government as the third tier of government. Diverse reactions have emerged following a proposal by the Patriots, a group led by a former Secretary General, Commonwealth, Emeka Anyaoku, urging President Bola Tinubu to initiate the process of drafting a new constitution through a National Constituent Assembly. According to the group, the challenges of national unity, insecurity, poverty and hunger bedeviling the country calls for the creation of a Constituent Assembly with the mandate to produce a new constitution. Lending his thoughts on the group's proposal to President Tinubu, political affairs analyst Anthony Killer backed the call, saying the current constitution is hindering growth in the country.
There's no one solution to any kind of problem one has in the world, especially the problem of a country. But the constitution will generally help, and actually it will massively help a lot, because a lot of the problem we have is due to the kind of system we run. You see, man is a product of a system, not just by itself. We have to think that a lot of the countries that we admire and we look up to, they're that way, partly because of their people, but largely because of their system. If it was just because of the people, when our people go there, they won't be behaving well. The proof that the system is what makes the people is the fact that our same people who behave badly here, when they get to those places, they tend to behave well. So that tells you that the system issue. And the system is largely due to the rules and regulations. So yes, a constitution will go a long way to help our situation. Because what we have at the moment is largely illegitimate and definitely not fit for purpose for today's Nigeria. No, it does not. There are two major things wrong with the current constitution. Number one is that it's not a people constitution. It starts by saying we the people, but that's a lie. We the people did not vote in that constitution. The other thing wrong with it is that it is built like a lot of other Nigerian things. It is built on a design and an illusion to make Nigeria a state nation. But Nigeria is not a state nation. Nigeria is a union of nations. And that is why, for more than anybody else, diversity is a big issue with Nigeria. So to that extent, this constitution does not reflect that, and it's not a good one. We have to think of a constitution that is very keen on understanding the diversity of Nigerians, the diversity of Nigeria, and to work a new Nigeria that recognizes this diversity. Not pretending to be one. We're not one, but there's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is what we do with our diversity, not because we're diverse.
Ahead of the governorship elections in Edo and Ondo State, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has reiterated its stance against the collection of permanent voter cards (PVCs) by proxy. Speaking at a meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja, INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu says PVCs must be collected in person to ensure the integrity of the electoral process. Yakubu added the commission has slated Thursday, August 22 to Sunday, September 8, 2024 for the collection of the permanent voter cards in Edo State ahead of the September 21 governorship election.
There are pending by-elections to fill 7 vacancies in the national and state assemblies across 6 states of the Federation. The 2 governorship elections and the by-elections will be the main focus of our attention at this meeting. Following the conclusion of the last continuous voter registration in Edo and Ondo states, the Commission published the figures of new registrants for the 2 states following the clean-up of the register. For Edo State in particular, 119,206 new voters were registered. In addition, 8,847 voters transferred their registration from other states of the Federation to Edo State, while 46,171 voters transferred their registration within the state, that is from one part of Edo State to another. As provided by law, the Commission has updated the records of 4,808 voters that applied for correction of names, addresses, or dates of birth from previous registrations, and also replaced 5,406 lost or damaged PVCs. Put together, 184,438 voters of various categories were served by the Commission during the last CVR in Edo State. These voters have to be issued with new PVCs. I'm glad to report that all the cards have been printed and delivered to our office in Benin City.
We'll take a short break, but coming up, Trump to offer cabinet/advisory role to Elon Musk if re-elected. We'll give you details shortly.
Corruption not in my country.
It's about the files your secretary presented to me regarding the company's salary. Yes, the figures don't seem to add up. I suspect there's some form of a
discrepancy.
Precisely, sir.
Keep the figures that way.
That's fraudulent, sir.
That's my money.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that, sir.
See how padded your cheeks are. Are you telling me you cannot pad up figures?
Sir, padding is against best auditing practices, and it's a form of corruption.
It's true. Accountant.
You were testing. Thank you, sir.
That's it. Bagole.
Yes, sir.
You are fired.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. Rather than watch corruption grow under my watch. Padding is a form of corruption and not in my country, sir.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Welcome back. Let's take you through our top stories. President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, has declined the invitation by the police for questioning over alleged criminal conspiracy and treasonable felony. The Nigeria Police Force invitation was contained in a letter dated August 19, 2024, and signed by ACP Adamo Mwazu on behalf of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team, ordering the NLC president to present himself for questioning by 10 a.m. on Tuesday. The police also warned that a warrant of arrest would be issued if Ajaero failed to comply. However, in a letter by his counsel, Femi Falana, Ajaero has asked the police to provide details of the allegations leveled against him. We also told you that following the ruling by the Supreme Court granting financial autonomy to local government in Nigeria, the Nigerian government has inaugurated a 10-member ministerial committee to implement the verdict. Disclosing this in a statement on Tuesday, the Director of Information and Public Relations in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Segun Imohsen, revealed the SGF George Akume would chair the committee, whose primary goal is to ensure that local government are granted full autonomy, allowing them to function effectively without interference from state governments. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Let's switch over to business news with Joy Uchejim. What's the latest, Joy?
Thank you, Simi. And on business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has reported a significant increase in remittance inflows, reaching $553 million in July 2024, a 130% increase from the corresponding period in 2023. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the Apex Bank's Acting Director, Corporate Communications, Hakama Sidi Ali, said the figure represents the highest monthly total inflows on record. The statement explained further that the substantial growth in remittance receipts was attributable to policy measures introduced by the CBN to enhance liquidity in Nigeria's foreign exchange market. Ali added that diaspora remittances have remained a crucial source of foreign exchange for Nigeria, supplementing both foreign direct investments and portfolio investments. We'll take a short break and return with stock market reports. Welcome back. Nigeria's equities market rebounded on Tuesday, ending a streak of consecutive losses. The market recorded a percentage of 0.13%. Now, Learn Africa led the rally with its share price surging by 9.94% to close at 3 naira 87 kobo, followed by Owando, which ended the day straight at 43 naira 30 kobo. Now, at the close of trading on the Nigerian exchange, over 1 billion shares worth 7.6 million naira exchanged hands in 8,295 deals. Globally, the Nikkei index continued its upward trend. However, the dollar and pound weakened, hitting their lowest point since January as investors brace for revised U.S. payroll data due on Wednesday. Turning to the foreign exchange market, the naira depreciated further, trading at 1,605 naira to the dollar on the black market. The British pounds were quoted at 2,060 naira, while the euro exchanged for 1,740 naira. That's all for the business and stock market reports. Back to you, Simi.
Thank you very much, Joy. On the foreign scene, a suspected serial killer in Kenya, Collins Kalusha, has escaped from custody, prompting a manhunt. Kalusha and 12 others escaped by cutting through a wire mesh roof and scaling a perimeter wall. According to police authorities, the 33-year-old was detained following the discovery of 9 mutilated bodies at an abandoned quarry in the capital, Nairobi. In July, police said Kalusha had confessed to the murders of 42 women, including his wife, since 2022. However, Kalusha's lawyers denied the claim, saying his client had been tortured to confess. Still on the foreign scene, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has pledged that if elected, he would consider ending a $7,500 tax credit for electric vehicle purchases and that he would be open to naming Tesla CEO Elon Musk to a cabinet or advisory role. The former U.S. president disclosed this during an interview with newsmen on Monday, saying he will rescind the Biden administration rules that will prod automakers to build more EVs and plug-in in hybrids to meet stricter emission standards. The 78-year-old also said he would take steps to discourage exports of vehicles produced by the Detroit 3 automakers and others from Mexico for U.S. consumers by imposing new tariffs, and would prevent Chinese automakers from building new plants in Mexico for U.S. market vehicles. And in sports, Nigeria's Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, has described the sports environment in the country as toxic and too hot to handle. Eno made the remark at the reception held for Team Nigeria's wrestlers to the recently concluded Paris 2024 Olympic Games. He lambasted Nigeria's sports stakeholders and commentators alike for making life unbearable for him with their negative conversations following Nigeria's woeful outing at the Paris Games. The Paris 2024 Olympics ended with Nigeria facing a bitterly disappointing outcome marked by a lack of medals despite a whopping investment of 9 billion naira and a sizable contingent of 88 athletes competing in 12 sports. Well, that's all on News Now. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.